So it's 2025, and we still have no idea when the Wolverine PS5 game is going to come out. Um, a reveal trailer for the game came out back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And back in late 2023, Insomniac Games was subjected to a ransomware attack where personal information was stole, data was leaked, gameplay footage and screenshots were leaked. And it's something that I still feel like Insomniac Games is trying to recover from. And the reason why that's a big deal is because Insomniac Games is the same company that's responsible for development of the Marvel Spider-Man series, and we all know that the first two Marvel Spider-Man games have been massively successful. The Spider-Man game from 2018 has done 20 million in sales. Marvel Spider-Man 2, which came out back in 2023, has done 11 million in terms of lifetime sales so far. And a lot of people have high hopes for the Marvel Wolverine game, and the reason is because it's from the makers of the Spider-Man games that appeared on the PS4 and the PS5. But with those games, like the developers had the element of surprise at the time because those games weren't subjected to ransomware attacks and leaks or anything like that. And we saw the trailers when they were ready to release them and we were impressed by them. And then, everything just went the way it was supposed to. With this game, it's a little bit different. And some feel that the leaks and the data that got out on the web was so bad to a point where Insomniac Games is going to cancel the Wolverine title altogether, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the plan. But the question is, when is this game going to be released? Because there hasn't been any official trailers or anything for this at all. Some experts believe that we might get the game sometime in 2026, but this year it presents a lot of time for Insomniac Games and Sony to, I guess, do something or reveal something sometime down the line. But I don't know. It seems like they're trying to keep things, in the dark for the most part because I guess they're afraid of their information getting out there, and they're doing everything they can to make it where they're not attacked again by some ransomware um, company or what have you. And I don't know, like when you look at Marvel games for the most part, it seemed like Spider-Man has been the main attraction, whether it be video games or whether it be movies. You look at one of the last major Wolverine games we got, it came out back in 2009. That was an M-rated game. And that was a game that actually was it was pretty decent. A lot of people love like the voiceover acting and all that stuff, which was one of the best things about the game itself. The graphics for like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 was good as well. Um, I do feel like Wolverine can definitely shine as a character that Sony can definitely market to, I guess, teenagers and even like young adults for the most part. And I do feel like this Wolverine game is going to be mainly geared towards young adults because X-Men Origins was that was M-rated, and that was something that ended up being better than people expected it to be. And I do feel like with Wolverine, he's one of the few Marvel characters that can shine outside of a group for the most part because you put, Wolverine with X-Men or anything like that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like, him being a part of X-Men kind of drags him down in some ways because the other characters are just not nearly as popular as he is. Um, I do feel that I do feel like, having a new Wolverine game is something that's definitely going to appeal to casuals because a lot of people know who Wolverine is. A lot of people a lot of people know about his movies, like the movie that came out this past year with Wolverine and Deadpool. I do feel like I don't know. I feel like the presentation, the graphics, the storytelling, all that stuff, they're going to be huge factors and play huge roles in determining how good this game really is. I do feel like this is something that definitely should not be rushed because this is a game that we've been waiting for years now, and with all the delays that we've gotten, I feel like Insomniac Games should give us a polished product, even if it comes like in late 2026 or sometime in 2027. I'd rather get a polished product at a later date than something that's rushed that comes out in like less than a year. But nothing has been confirmed with us or the public or anything like that. I am expecting to learn more about the Wolverine game sometime this year, but I don't know. I mean, because it doesn't look like it's going to appear at this year's State of Play event. And if that is the case, then, we might not get that game until maybe late 2026, early 2027 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping like that this game doesn't get canceled or anything like that. It's just a case where they're either in developmental hell or they're being clever about how they market their game or how they drop like trailers and stuff like that. But yeah, either way, I feel like, this upcoming game is going to be big. It's probably going to be even more popular than the Blade video game that we're supposed to be getting sometime in the future. The Blade video game was rumored to be appearing sometime this year, but I haven't really seen any gameplay footage or too much about it. I'm not exactly sure whether or not that's going to be at this year's State of Play, but that remains to be seen. Overall, it does seem like Marvel is becoming more and more popular within the realm of video games. And it seems like Marvel is blowing anything DC is doing out of the water. And honestly, I feel like we're definitely going to get this game before the PlayStation 6 comes out. I'm just hoping that we don't have to wait too long before Insomniac Games and Sony decides to drop an official gameplay trailer.